Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today we're going to dive into Cosmic Ghost Rider and get a first look at him on the APK. And I wanted to do Cosmic Ghost Rider first because I think he is one of the most hyped characters for this update, and it's a huge rework for Punisher, and it turns him into a villain, and it turns him into a universal type. So there's a lot of changes to cover and to go through. Secondly, I have some criticisms for the character that I think need to be addressed. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll get addressed before the update goes live, but we know how it can be with Netmarble Monster taking their time. And then thirdly, it's a shout out to Donny. This is his baby, his pride and joy that he created, so I wanted to do a little homage for him and sort of do my best here. So, Punisher, Frank Castle, makes a deal with Mephisto to get revenge, to get to seek punishment and justice and retribution against Thanos after Thanos wipes out all of the heroes on Earth. So Mephisto turns him into Ghost Rider. That is what turns him into a villain. But then he obtains the power cosmic by making another deal with a dying, starving Galactus for the exact same thing, to help him kill Thanos. So he becomes Cosmic Ghost Rider. So yeah, Punisher now becomes a villain with this uniform, and he also turns into a universal type. He also gets the power cosmic, which increases his damage dealt to both heroes and villains by 5%, and it gives him 5% ignore defense. That 5% ignore defense stacks with his 15, so you are looking at a character that has a base, without any cards or anything, 20% ignore defense. So it's very, very easy to be very, very overcapped on his ignore defense. On top of that, Punisher, just for whatever reason, he has pain tolerance passive, which is 10% increase or decreases skill cooldown, which gives you an additional. It increases your skill cooldown by 10% towards that 50%. So that's why you can see both of them are overcapped. It's very, very easy to overcap them. On top of that, he gets 5 skill changes. Now, a lot of you were very nice in the previous video when I mentioned that on his uniform effect, there is some text written in Korean. Quite a lot of you said that this says base stat increase. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe he's getting like a buff, like a 10% all attack buff or something like that. Or maybe that's just like a developer's note that they didn't delete, which is just supposed to be, hey guys, like let's bump up his skills because he's becoming a universal. Universal characters on average have higher base stats. They have a little bit lower HP, I believe, than combat types, but everything else is higher. The attack stats and the defense stats should be a little bit higher. And then, yeah, his uniform effect is absolutely badass. Increased damage dealt to heroes and villains by 50%. So he's rocking a 50% bonus by default, which means he's going to do crazy damage to all world bosses. He's going to do crazy additional damage in PvP, if he can actually hit anybody in PvP, and other things. So he is a force to be reckoned with because of that. Like he's very dangerous. Now, as far as his skills go, we're going to talk about them really quick here. So Cosmic Revenge is just basic damage. He actually only has fire on 2 skills. I think some people are going to be disappointed about that. A fire damage obelisk or a CTP of judgment is not going to do very well for him because only 2 skills actually deal with the hellfire. Furious Lava Lash just has regular damage, so you got 2 regular damage skills, but then you get spicy with Hell Chain Wave. You get very spicy. So check this out: 20% heal, yeah. 5% in immunity, yeah. And then he has the Sharon Rogers accumulation, but it's accumulation of damage dealt, I believe. Accumulates to true damage. Increases when take. Oh no, it's exactly the Sharon Rogers one. It is damage taken. Sorry, I misspoke. It's not damage. It's not damage dealt. It's damage taken. So it's exactly the same as Sharon Rogers, which means that if you pop this and then you get hit hard enough, you will have a 225% buff, 225% attack buff. That's insane. So yeah, he racks up, like, his damage spikes when he uses it. And then you combo that with Power Cosmic Pulse, and that has decreased buff effects, which is very interesting, possibly for PvP or some other game modes. But really the interesting thing here, or really the spicy thing here, is 50% all defense down, which stacks immediately for 7 seconds. So you combo 3 and 4, and he is like, you're going to see, it's disgusting. And then 5, Hell Cycle Shockwave. It has all defense down. That doesn't apply to world bosses, which is really weird. But yeah, so those are the skills there. I'll give you a quick little, quick little preview of the build here. We've got Hawk's Eye for the skill cooldown because he doesn't need ignore defense. We've got a CTP of destruction because I do want to take him into some PvP and show you guys. As far as the uniform, we rolled attack speed, physical attack, HP dodge, and crit damage. Just, you know, nothing too serious. I'm not going to try to max out his build. and then we left the Urus naked because we're just going for cooldown and ignore defense. We're not trying to, you know, maximize the build 100%. This is a test build, this is a test account, so it's not going to be all the same. But let me just quickly go through the main combo here before we get into some action. So you really want to open up, you have to open up with 3. Okay, but you don't want to do an iframe after 3, so you don't want to do 1 because then you're not going to get hit. So you want to open with 3, get those chains going, and then you want to go into 4 for the Kamehameha wave. You need to get hit for that accumulation to really bump up your damage. And then later on, you can see, like, when the accumulation is active, he's got, like, this swirling red circle around him. It's actually really cool. The animation is quite nice. Yeah. And it's, you know what, though? It's fire, but it also has, like, stars in it. It's actually, the attention to detail on that is actually very, very nice. And then on his 5th skill, there's a little bit of a wind-up, which is a bummer. But then he goes into a long, long iframe. So we'll talk about why that's good and bad, and he sort of like chains up the enemies. You see the chains wrapped around them. But let's jump into some content now against some world bosses, and you'll see how he does. Ooh, could we take on Thanos? That's actually kind of cute, right? Okay, let's see how he does against Thanos. Just straight up by himself. We're not going to bring anybody else in. This is a pretty low stage, but he's got his own leadership. We're not going to bring along strikers. We just want to see how he does. The nice thing about Ghost Rider is he has everything he needs, right? He's got iframes, he's got self-heal, and he's got accumulation, and he's got immunity. But he can be a little bit hard to play. He definitely can. But I think he actually might be a good... He might actually be good against Thanos because, as we know, Sharon Rogers is very good against Thanos. And the thing is, Thanos hits very hard, right? So, as you're going to see here... Okay, well, there wasn't a lot of damage there, but... you know, you go in with the 5 after you stack the 3 buffs, and yeah. How are you not in your next phase, buddy? There you go. You just needed a little tickle. Needed a tickle from old Frank Castle, old crazy Frank. Okay, let's continue here and see what happens next. All right, I want you to hit me, Joker style. Wow. Completely baits me. Okay. Okay. Okay, no proc there. But you can see there that even with the nice. Even though his 5th skill doesn't actually do that much damage, it's not the best showing for Frank. Sorry, Frank. We'll do better later. We'll do better later. Yeah, the basic principle you want to remember is that 3 and 4. The combo on 3 and 4 is disgusting. And he's got that heal, so he heals back up, right? I didn't play that very well, but you sort of get an idea of how you want to play him. It can be a little bit difficult at times. I don't really think that a CTP of destruction is the best for him, but this was just what I slapped on him to. Oh, cool! It says participating. Oh, I like that. That was really cool. Interesting. Okay, it's like a little, you know, red band. Oh, they got some nice touches. There's some nice quality of life changes in this update. Not much else though. No new content besides the epic quest. Okay, so let's see what he does here. This is stage 40 Proxima now, much higher stage, and you're gonna see that his damage is still very, very good. So you're gonna hit me, and then I'm gonna give it all back to you, and you can see the damage is quite strong there. But the 5th skill, the only thing is the 5th skill damage is really weak. There we didn't get any proc, which is a bummer. But that's the basic combo. Now the only thing is his 5th skill has a very long cooldown. So you actually kind of need to wait. No, we didn't get any proc there. We're getting really unlucky with these procs. Another missed proc. Yeah, I really think like a CTP, unfortunately, a CTP of Rage would actually be very good for him because of the fact that, yeah, it can be really hard to proc. He does seem like he'd be better for PvP, although it's very hard to test him at level 60. He dies pretty quickly. He doesn't have the highest base stats. He doesn't have the highest defense. He does have some damage reduction, but it's not quite enough. Maybe if I paired him up with Colossus, it would be better. But the problem is just that you're really relying on the 3-4 combo. Now, the accumulation does give him a little bit more damage, but for some reason, you can see his 5th skill just doesn't have any hit. It doesn't have any damage. You can see this crazy damage on 4. But this is where I think there's some necessary criticism for the character. I believe that they need to take a look at his 5th skill, and they need to give it more damage. It just seems like it hits really, like, there's like no damage, right? And there's not enough hits on the skill. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe there's some weird targeting, but you can see how disgusting the damage is when you get the combo to work, right? That 3-4 combo. Oh, she's gonna... Okay. So you can see how disgusting that combo is when you get it to work. The problem is when you don't get it to work, his 5 just has like it's absurdly low damage. Like, I've never seen a 5th skill do that little damage. So I think that there has to be something wrong with it, because it's just way too low. Now, if you brought a mind control striker, that would actually help him out a lot. But the heal definitely keeps him alive, and then you can see here it just does massive damage with the 3-4 combo. Now we're actually kind of in trouble here. The windup on 5 is actually pretty difficult to deal with sometimes, but like the spike, the damage spike is pretty wild. Face tanking Proxima is a dangerous thing to do. We're not gonna be able to do it here. Yeah, eventually your 5th skill will like just run short because it's got such a long cooldown. So you're gonna need to kind of stall eventually and not use 5. But he really needs that accumulation. I think they do need to go into the lab here and just touch up his skills a little bit. Oh wow, we got 3 got canceled and we died. So he has potential. He definitely has potential. Like the crazy burst on 4, and the 3, the accumulation on 3 that combines with the all defense down on 4. He's fun to play. He's got a little bit of a different combo than most of their characters, where all his damage is stacked on 3 and 4. But I think they need to improve the damage on 5 because it's really pathetic. The damage is like non-existent, so that's really bad. And then they need to add more hits to 4. Maybe they need to tweak the damage and lower the damage a little bit on 4, but there's just not enough hits to make it, to really have that combo be satisfying. Because that 3-4 combo is nice. It's over too quickly. It's almost over too quickly. So if they extended the animation of 4 by just like an extra second, it's so brief. And the damage is nice, the spike is nice, but you notice the spike just falls off immediately, right? Like it's and then it's gone. So having it last a little bit longer would be nice. Now, aside from those criticisms of the character, what other criticisms do I have? Well, first of all, and Donny Cates, help us out here. He doesn't have immunity to fire. I really don't understand how in the world this got through the Marvel check and the Marvel seal of approval. How is a Ghost Rider character not immune to fire? His head is literally on fire all the time, and you can literally pull his head off, as Thanos has done many times. So how is he not immune to fire? That's the first thing. The second thing is what I detailed there in a little bit more of a short summary. He needs enhanced damage on some of his skills, and I think he needs some enhanced animation times, or just like slowed down and more hits on Power Cosmic Pulse, because it's such a cool skill. It's so satisfying to just blast that out, but it's just so short that you sort of lose the hype and the flavor of it far before you're ready to. And then the last criticism I have of the character is the animation, or at least the fidelity, the quality of his bike. Now, they did make a big deal of this, Kim and Cage, in the live stream to show off the fact that he has to be with his bike, and we do see his bike in one of his skills, but the fact that his bike is in the character preview means that you're going to be looking at it a lot. And if you're going to be looking at it a lot, it means you're going to quickly notice that, for one, the bars are super low res. Like, we're going back to 2015 here. Those bars are square. They're exactly square, and they're just really low count. This is just not a 2020 game here, guys. You got to fix that. You got to change something about that. Secondly, the wheel. It's not a wheel. It's like an octagon or a tectagon or whatever. You can very clearly see each side. So you got to smooth that out somehow. It's really painful to see, especially because of the contrast with white and black. It sticks out way too much. And then on the exhaust, I know this is getting a little bit picky, but the exhaust is also super low res and super like flat, not flat, but again, you can just count. You can see it. It's a hexagon. It's 6 sides. So you guys got to fix that. It's just way too low res. I know you guys were busy or COVID and social distancing and stuff, but please, Cosmic Ghost Rider, very cool character. Please don't make him look like a low poly count, low res guy. And then the last thing actually I have to say, the last criticism I have of the character is the guns. As cool as the guns look, and they do look very cool. Like, look how cool that gun looks. That's a high-res gun, right? That gun looks really sick. You never see the guns. You never see them. I know he shoots the guns on his 5th skill, but you don't see anything because he's spinning so fast and there's this huge plume of lava. I hate that. So I would really, I know it's impossible basically, but it would be really awesome if they would change one of his skills so you can actually see him shooting the guns. Punisher likes using guns. Why do we not see him use guns? Why does he use chains in every single skill? He uses he uses Goku in his 4th skill. Chains, 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 and then bicycle chains with a very brief moment that you will never see unless you have the eyes of Superman or Gladiator, you know, with his guns. So yeah, if they like changed his 2nd skill and he just like did a bunch of cosmic blasts and then some lava shot up or something, that would be awesome. I think the character is good. I think the character definitely has some potential. It would be a shame to test him in PvP now because he's level 60, and from what I've tested him in, just as a spoiler, he's very bad. From what I've tested him in PvP, he is very bad. He just has long windups on his skills, and as you can see, he only has like 1.5 iframes on 5 and 1, so that's usually a recipe for disaster for PvP. He also doesn't have penetration, so he's missing a lot of those key PvP qualities. But man, that damage, like his uniform effect is just so good that you almost wish he was good for PvP. Maybe he would be with like a regen or something like that, but then he doesn't have penetration. But yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on it. I wanted to give you guys a first look. I wanted to show you, and wanted you to see how his damage is, how his style of play looks, and his animation quality as well, because this is really cool. They did a really good job with his body and with the chains. The chains are actually much higher res than I expected them to be, and the holes in the chains are real. So if you like hold him up again, like if you hold him like this and you look, you can see through the chain and see his leg as it sways back and forth. But then the bike sort of lets you down, and then not seeing his guns kind of lets you down as well. So let me know what you guys think of Cosmic Ghost Rider. Let me know what you want to see next. There's a video coming up later on today. Thank you. Have a good day. Be safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.